how do you think parents who read this article that I'm writing, especially the one for Hispanic Magazine, what do you think parents can do to raise more Ralphs?
I think I would tell the parents, and parents know this already because I've interviewed a lot of parents, including many Hispanic parents through the work that I do at Junior Achievement. I've gone into the high schools and conducted focus groups. And I think all parents want the best for their children.
Sure.
And I would say keep that in front and make sure that your kids, your young people dream big and that they don't let anybody put limitations on what they can do. Even for people that are minorities that may not have a lot of time in this country, you can achieve your dreams, but you have to do it with a good game plan, you have to have a good education, and you have to work hard to get it done. But I think the key is to instill pride in the kids and raise their hopes up. I think when I go to high schools and talk to kids, I see that too many have lowered their expectations because they've run into obstacles.
Yes.
That's the worst thing that we could have a child do, right? A young person do is when they have their full future ahead of them, to have something that happened to them, something that somebody told them, that somehow that would limit what they can do. It's just, to me, a horrific thought that how many lives can that life touch and change?
Sure.
If instead of settling for something that was artificially established for you, you were allowed to reach your full potential. And I think of myself, what if my grandmother hadn't come along? What if she had not had that talk with me? What would I be doing today?
Do you remember some of the things she said to you?
Oh yeah, she
Besides
said,
staying in school?
yeah, she said, if you want to be an engineer, you can be an engineer. I had gotten a counselor's advice that because of my grades in high school and because of my financial status in the country, that I should be a mechanic and not an engineer like I wanted to be. And that's the path that I was actually on. I had actually let somebody put limitations on what I can do.
Yeah.
She broke through those chains and said, no way. If you want to be an engineer, you can be an engineer. And that kind of was the light bulb for me that went off, that it said, listen to your grandmother.
Yeah.
So we've got to get, I don't know if I would be grandmothers, but whatever people, young folks, respect and let them hear from them. And I think that did more for me than anything else. And I've done it as a result of that when I talk to young people. And I think the message is getting through. Sometimes you don't know whether you're going to impact somebody by a speech or a book that you write. But I think the early feedback is very positive, and I get the word inspired a lot associated with the book, and that's what we set out to do. We set out to write a book that was a combination business book and inspirational book. A lot of books have been written that are very inspirational, but they have not been written by business people. And there have been a lot of good business books written by business people, but not very inspirational.
Right.
What we try to do is to weave those two, a little bit of personal and an inspirational story, but also some good common sense about what are the keys that somebody needs to know about to succeed in corporate America, the greatest country in the world, and to achieve their dreams. So that's hopefully the lessons that somebody will get by reading the book and learning about the story.
Are you going to, do you think you'll break out a couple of chapters for separate publication? You think you'll do something like that?
Yeah, I think that you can already get part of the first chapter in Amazon. So I think putting the first chapter or so as something that would entice somebody to read the rest of the book is a good idea, and I would encourage it. I'm also going to put up a website where, for example, we're going to have resources for teachers. So if they want to teach a lesson about a certain portion of the book, that they can get the charts in a reproducible format. So if they want to teach a lesson about it, they can, and therefore enhance the chances that some young person somewhere is going to get inspired to reach their full potential.
Can you remember any particular challenges you faced while you were in college that some of the principles you use now helped you overcome, like a particular story that I might be able to, write up in brief that might help, kids that age, 19, 20-year-old kids?
Well, the biggest thing that happened to me actually didn't happen in college. It happened in high school.
Yeah.
And I had gotten a job at a factory. I actually had started sweeping floors, and then I became better, and they put me to oil the sewing machines of the factory, and then they put me in the shipping department, and then they promoted me to sales. So I thought I was doing good, and any young person that goes from sweeping floors to selling feels like they have arrived, especially if you're an immigrant. I was lucky enough that I didn't stop there and say, this is success for me, and I'm making money. I always wanted to have a car. Now I can go out and buy a car, and you can get used to what you think is success, when in reality that's just a short-term success. If you want to really be successful and reach your full potential, you have to get a better education than just high school, or at least go to vocational school or junior college or technical school. What I'm really concerned about is when kids don't even finish high school and they drop out, like I could have dropped out, because the money felt good. I mean, I felt that was success. And so the biggest message is, don't settle for less than you can be.
Yeah.